Today we've got a great dish. Fish in banana leaf, Indonesian style. Start off by grating some palm sugar. Just gives you that little bit of extra taste. But if you don't have that, raw sugar, brown sugar is fine as well. What we're doing here is putting a damp or wet tea towel underneath the cutting block. It just makes that extra firm. It sort of creates its own suction and it doesn't move, and we find it a great chef's tip just to make sure that things don't move when you're doing some cutting with sharp knives. Here we're going to start with peeling the garlic, and then we're going to move on to do the same thing to the shallots, and then we're going to be de-seeding the chili. Okay, now we've got that done. The next step is to basically just slice and dice the chilies and the garlic and the shallots, just ready for the food processor, because we're going to blend it all up into a smooth paste. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes of blending to actually get this paste just right. It needs to be relatively fine because after that we're going to be cooking it. Now what we're doing here is just finely dicing and finely cutting the galangal, and the reason we're doing that, galangal gives a great flavor and a great texture, but it's actually quite a woody texture, so it's worth just spending that extra time just giving it a little bit of a cut. The next step is to make sure the fish is free from any bones. Here we're using a fish bone puller, which is kind of like a large pair of tweezers that you can see here. You could also slice the fish down the middle and just remove a little bit of that flesh. Either way is fine, but Rosie wanted to preserve all the fish. She just loves it. Now we're at the stage which is really exciting. We're going to be making the paste that we put over the fish at the end of it. So we've just put in the shrimp paste, or the shrimp powder. Now we're going to put in the tamarind paste and the turmeric. Then we're going to blend it. Takes about 5 minutes, but you need to stop and start 2 or 3 times using a spatula just to wipe down the sides of the food processor so that everything gets blended into a nice homogeneous fine diced paste, so that when you actually taste it, because we're covering the fish with this, it is really, really nice. Once you finish the paste, turn on the Instant Pot to high temperature saute and put it in. And you need to cook it out. Again, takes 3 or 4 minutes to do so. Now Rosie was getting a little bit overwhelmed with all the fumes, so she's come up with this fan idea which she puts in, which you can see we've just put there. Some dried bay leaves, if you've got fresh ones, great. Take the kaffir lime leaves, crush them with your hands so that the oils and the flavor is released really well into the dish. We've taken the bowl out of the Instant Pot so that it stops cooking. Here we're just seasoning it with some salt and pepper, and again, be generous, give it a stir around so that everything just is going to taste nice. Add in your palm sugar or your brown sugar and stir. At the end of this, you can have a little teaspoon and just taste a little bit to make sure you're happy with the overall taste. So we've deboned the fish, and now we're ready to prepare that. We're squeezing a little bit of lime juice over the fish, essentially just to give it a wash, but it also gives that extra little bit of flavor to the fish just before we're ready to start building the package. Now we're getting to the exciting part. Put the banana leaves down, and if you don't have banana leaves, just use some parchment paper, it's fine. Step 1. Take the cooked kaffir lime leaves and place them on top of the parchment or banana leaves that you've got. Adds a little bit of extra flavor. Take the fish and then place it on top of the kaffir lime leaves. Then using a spatula, generously cover the fish in the paste, as you can see that we're doing here. Both sides of the fish, and if the kaffir lime leaves stick as you lift it over, put them back. They're better on the bottom. You have a lot of flexibility really in this recipe. Now we've got some fresh bay leaves which we're also going to put on the top, and you can see that we're doing it here. If you have them, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. And again, add herbs that you like. It's no problem at all. Now we're folding up the package, and again, fold it in a way that nothing's going to leak out, because the fish does release some water and some moisture, so it's best to fold it nicely and fold it up. Here we've cleaned the Instant Pot a little bit. We're putting in our steamer, and then we're going to place the packets on top of that and cook it for approximately 10 minutes. When you're placing in the fish, you can see that we're placing the packets in the Instant Pot such that the juices can't run out of the fish. And again, you can see it here. We've finished cooking them here and we're taking them out, and see how the fold is in a way that the juices are not running out. It's better if they stay in. Checking that the fish really does seem done, and of course it is. The Instant Pot is really nice and quick, and what it does is under pressure it really infuses all those extra flavors in. Man, this tastes good, and I am looking forward to it. Thanks for watching.